So I was working with a mentee, and she has a friend who, unfortunately, their husband passed away. They had a while back, they had some investment property, and this woman wanted to sell the investment property so she could get the funds, and not deal with managing the property. So, they had an uncooperative tenant, meaning that tenant was not going to help them in any way sell the property. They were not going to let them in for open houses, even though the owner has the right to, access the unit. And so Ryan's company, we presented the property opportunity to Ryan's company, and they were able to take on the property even with the uncooperative tenant. So it helped the seller out because she could not do a traditional sale. She couldn't do open houses. She couldn't fix up the unit. It was a townhouse condo. And so Ryan's company was able to offer, enough money that made sense for her to take that headache off her hands. So that was one of the success stories. Yeah.
And not only that, to speak to that, it ended up being that the tenant was even more difficult than we thought, and I think it was something like 3 or 4 months that the investor had to hold on to that property before they could even actually take possession. So the seller got their money, they got out, they moved on, and the investor dealt with it for quite some time. And I love that you brought that up because it's actually one of the most difficult investment scenarios that there is, and that is a difficult or unruly tenant in the property. And this is something that should be kind of a light bulb for you all, really, because I have agents ask me all the time, will your investors take a property with a tenant? My response is nobody loves dealing with a property with a difficult tenant, but we've got lots of investors that will, and we're excited to look at it. So you hear a scenario or you talk with someone who's got a scenario where they've got a difficult tenant. Most realtors are going to run in the opposite direction, but you should be running to that. Here's an opportunity to take advantage of something that most of your competitors do not want to deal with. And in the same token, even in an ugly house or a hoarder house or a tough situation, I mean, we've had properties with forgive me, but with some of the most horrible situations that you see on TV shows like Hoarders and Realtors. The average realtor does not want to deal with that. But when they find out that they could potentially work with us, bring in an investor, make not just 3, but maybe 4 or 5 or 6% commission and close within a week, well, that sounds more interesting. Let's talk about how we could actually make this way more difficult scenario easier, faster, quicker, and potentially more profitable than working with a multi-million-dollar beautiful home, which could take you 6 to 8 months to actually get sold, plus investments that you have to put into marketing that, campaigning, so on and so forth. I would never tell an agent to change your direction. I think that this is just another branch of the tree. But if you're not considering the opportunity that you could take advantage of the stuff that's a little more difficult, or the stuff where the seller's just asking for more convenience, then you're missing out on an opportunity that very few realtors have.